is cancer does not begin and end with a single gene, and your health is not controlled by medication alone. Hidden inside your digestive system are trillions of tiny organisms that constantly communicate with your immune system. Scientists are discovering that certain beneficial gut bacteria may help your body's natural defenses recognize and respond to abnormal cells more effectively. But here's the truth most people never hear. There is no single food that cures cancer overnight. Anyone claiming otherwise is selling false hope. What you can do is build an internal environment that supports your body's natural protective systems. Foods rich in natural fiber, such as beans, lentils, oats, onions, garlic, asparagus, apples, and fermented foods like plain yogurt or kefir can nourish beneficial gut bacteria. These microbes produce compounds that help reduce inflammation and support immune function, two factors that researchers continue to study for their role in overall health and cancer outcomes. Every meal is either feeding the microbes that protect you or the ones that thrive on highly processed sugary foods. The exciting science is not about miracle cures. It is about giving your body the best possible conditions to stay resilient. The choices you make every single day can influence your gut, your immune system, and your long-term health in ways that researchers are only beginning to fully understand. For decades, many people believed that the battle against cancer was fought only in hospitals, laboratories, and operating rooms. But one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern health science is revealing that an important part of this battle may begin somewhere completely unexpected, inside your gut. Your digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that form an ecosystem known as the gut microbiome. These microscopic organisms are not simply helping digest food. They are constantly communicating with your immune system, influencing inflammation, producing beneficial compounds, and helping maintain the balance your body depends on every single day. What surprises many people is that nearly 70% of the body's immune cells are associated with the digestive system. This means your gut is not just a place where food is processed. It is one of the largest centers of immune activity in your body. Every bite of food you eat sends signals to this ecosystem. Some foods nourish beneficial bacteria that produce health-supporting substances, while other foods encourage less beneficial microbes that may contribute to chronic inflammation when consumed in excess over long periods. Researchers have discovered that certain beneficial bacteria create short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate, by fermenting dietary fiber. These natural compounds help maintain the protective lining of the intestines, support healthy immune function, and may reduce harmful inflammation. A strong intestinal barrier also helps prevent unwanted substances from entering the bloodstream, allowing your immune system to focus on genuine threats rather than remaining in a constant state of unnecessary activation. Scientists are also investigating how the gut microbiome influences the body's response to cancer treatments, including immunotherapy. Some studies suggest that people with a more diverse and balanced gut microbiome may respond better to certain immune-based therapies than those with less microbial diversity. This has opened an entirely new field of research, where improving gut health could someday become an important part of comprehensive cancer care. However, researchers are careful to point out that this does not mean gut bacteria cure cancer. Instead, they may help support the body's natural defenses and influence how well certain treatments work in some patients. One of the biggest factors shaping your gut bacteria is your daily diet. Fiber-rich vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds provide nourishment for beneficial microbes. Foods like onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, bananas, oats, and beans contain special fibers called prebiotics that feed these helpful bacteria. Fermented foods such as plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and other traditionally fermented foods can also introduce beneficial microorganisms into the digestive system, although their effects vary from person to person. In contrast, diets consistently high in ultra-processed foods, excessive added sugars, and low in fiber may reduce microbial diversity over time. A less diverse microbiome has been associated in research with a variety of chronic health conditions, although many factors including genetics, lifestyle, and environment also play important roles. This is why experts emphasize overall dietary patterns instead of searching for a single miracle food. Another remarkable discovery is that gut bacteria produce vitamins, help regulate metabolism, influence hormone activity, and even communicate with the brain through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. This constant communication demonstrates that the microbiome affects far more than digestion alone. It functions as an active partner in maintaining overall health. The hidden connection between gut bacteria and cancer defense is not about finding one magical ingredient that eliminates disease. It is about understanding that every healthy meal, every serving of fiber, and every consistent lifestyle choice helps shape an internal ecosystem that supports immune function, reduces unnecessary inflammation, and creates conditions that allow your body to perform at its best according to the growing body of scientific evidence. Your immune system is often imagined as an army that patrols your body, searching for viruses, bacteria, and abnormal cells before they become dangerous. But what many people never realize is that this army does not work alone. One of its closest partners lives inside your digestive tract. Trillions of beneficial microorganisms constantly interact with immune cells, sending signals that help the body distinguish between harmless substances and genuine threats. This relationship has become one of the most exciting areas of medical research because it is changing how scientists understand health, aging, and disease. The gut is home to a massive network of immune tissue, making it one of the body's most important immune organs. Every day, your immune system encounters countless microbes, food particles, and environmental compounds passing through your digestive tract. Instead of attacking everything, it must learn what is safe and what requires action. Beneficial gut bacteria play a major role in teaching this balance. They help regulate immune responses so the body remains alert without becoming excessively inflamed. Inflammation itself is not the enemy. In fact, it is one of the body's most powerful defense mechanisms. When you cut your skin or catch an infection, inflammation helps eliminate harmful invaders and begins the healing process. The problem arises when low-grade inflammation continues for months or years. Chronic inflammation has been linked to many serious diseases, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain digestive disorders, and several forms of cancer. Scientists believe that maintaining a healthy gut microbiome may help support a more balanced inflammatory response. Beneficial bacteria also produce compounds that strengthen the intestinal lining. This protective barrier acts like a highly selective filter, allowing nutrients into the bloodstream while keeping potentially harmful substances where they belong. When this barrier functions properly, the immune system can focus on real threats instead of reacting to unnecessary triggers. Researchers continue to study how disruptions to this barrier may contribute to chronic inflammation and immune dysfunction. Another fascinating discovery involves the chemicals produced by healthy gut microbes. As these bacteria digest dietary fiber, they create short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These natural substances provide energy for cells lining the colon and help support normal immune activity. Butyrate in particular has attracted significant scientific attention because of its role in maintaining intestinal health and helping regulate inflammatory processes. Modern lifestyles can place enormous stress on the gut microbiome. Diets low in fiber and high in heavily processed foods may reduce the diversity of beneficial bacteria. Frequent unnecessary antibiotic use can also disturb the natural balance of gut microbes. Although antibiotics remain essential and life-saving when prescribed appropriately for bacterial infections, poor sleep, chronic stress, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and limited physical activity may also influence the health of the microbiome over time. Supporting your immune system begins with consistently feeding the beneficial bacteria that live inside you. Vegetables, fruits, beans, lentils, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and other fiber-rich foods provide the nourishment these microbes need to thrive. Fermented foods such as plain yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut may also contribute beneficial microorganisms as part of a balanced diet. Regular physical activity, quality sleep, effective stress management, and avoiding tobacco all work together to create an environment where both your immune system and your gut microbiome can function more effectively. Researchers are also exploring how the composition of the gut microbiome may influence responses to vaccines, infections, and certain cancer treatments, particularly immunotherapy. While this field is still developing, the evidence continues to suggest that a healthy and diverse gut microbiome is closely connected with a well-functioning immune system. Rather than relying on quick fixes or miracle supplements, the most powerful strategy appears to be consistently building healthy habits that support the remarkable partnership between your microbes and your body's natural defenses. Every time you sit down to eat, you are feeding far more than yourself. You are also feeding the trillions of microorganisms living inside your digestive system. Some of these microbes support your health by producing beneficial compounds, strengthening your intestinal barrier, and helping regulate your immune system. Others thrive when your diet is consistently high in highly processed foods and low in fiber. The remarkable truth is that the foods you choose every day can gradually influence which types of bacteria become more abundant in your gut, shaping an internal ecosystem that affects far more than digestion alone. One of the most important nutrients for beneficial gut bacteria is dietary fiber. Unlike many other nutrients, fiber is not fully digested by the human body. Instead, it travels into the large intestine, is where helpful bacteria ferment it and produce short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These natural compounds help nourish the cells lining the colon, support a healthy intestinal barrier, and contribute to normal immune function. This is one reason why health experts consistently recommend eating a wide variety of fiber-rich foods every day. Beans and lentils are among the best foods for supporting beneficial gut bacteria. They provide generous amounts of fiber along with plant protein, vitamins, minerals, and naturally occurring compounds that promote microbial diversity. Regularly including black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, or split peas in meals gives beneficial microbes a steady supply of nourishment that helps them flourish. Whole grains are another valuable source of microbiome-friendly nutrition. Oats, barley, brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat contain fibers that beneficial bacteria can use as fuel. Oats are especially rich in beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that supports heart health while also providing nourishment for healthy gut microbes. Replacing refined grains with whole grains can gradually improve the diversity of your microbiome over time. Vegetables provide another essential source of prebiotic fibers. Onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, artichokes, and Jerusalem artichokes contain natural compounds that beneficial bacteria particularly enjoy. These foods act as fertilizer for your internal microbial garden, encouraging the growth of bacteria associated with better digestive and immune health. Cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower also contain beneficial plant compounds that continue to be studied for their potential role in supporting overall health. Fruits contribute important fibers and protective plant chemicals known as polyphenols. Apples, berries, pears, bananas, pomegranates, oranges, and kiwi all provide different combinations of nutrients that nourish both your body and your microbiome. Apples contain pectin, a type of soluble fiber that beneficial bacteria ferment into helpful compounds. Berries are rich in antioxidants that may also influence the balance of gut microbes in positive ways. Fermented foods introduce living microorganisms into the digestive system. Plain yogurt with live cultures, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, and other traditionally fermented foods have attracted growing scientific interest. While these foods are not miracle cures, and their effects vary among individuals, including them regularly as part of a balanced diet may help support microbial diversity for many people. Nuts and seeds also deserve attention. Almonds, walnuts, pistachios, flax seeds, and chia seeds provide healthy fats, fiber, and plant compounds that encourage beneficial bacterial growth. Even small daily servings can contribute to a healthier dietary pattern that supports your gut microbiome over time. Equally important is limiting foods that consistently displace these nourishing options. Diets centered around sugary beverages, heavily processed snacks, refined carbohydrates, and excessive amounts of processed meats may reduce microbial diversity when they replace healthier foods over long periods. The goal is not perfection but consistency. Building meals around vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and fermented foods creates an environment where beneficial gut bacteria can thrive, helping support digestion, immune function, and overall health through the powerful connection between nutrition and the microbiome. Most people believe they are protecting their health simply by avoiding obvious dangers like smoking or eating too much sugar. But there is another threat that often goes unnoticed because it develops quietly over time. Your gut is home to trillions of beneficial bacteria that support digestion, immune function, vitamin production, and the health of your intestinal lining. These microorganisms are living partners in your health, yet many everyday habits can gradually weaken this delicate ecosystem without causing immediate symptoms. By the time digestive discomfort, fatigue, or other health concerns appear, the balance of your gut microbiome may already have changed significantly. One of the biggest challenges to beneficial gut bacteria is a diet that lacks fiber. Modern eating habits often revolve around refined carbohydrates, packaged snacks, sugary cereals, fast food, and convenience meals. While these foods may satisfy hunger quickly, they provide very little nourishment for the beneficial microbes that depend on plant fibers to survive. When helpful bacteria receive less fiber, they produce fewer beneficial compounds such as short-chain fatty acids, which are important for maintaining a healthy intestinal barrier and supporting normal immune function. Another common habit is consuming excessive amounts of added sugar. Diets consistently high in sugary drinks, desserts, candy, and processed foods may encourage the growth of less beneficial microbes while reducing overall microbial diversity. Researchers continue to study these relationships, but the evidence suggests that long-term dietary patterns matter far more than occasional treats. A single dessert is unlikely to disrupt your microbiome, but regularly replacing nutritious foods with highly processed sugary products can gradually shift the balance of your gut ecosystem. Unnecessary use of antibiotics is another factor that can dramatically affect gut bacteria. Antibiotics save lives when used appropriately to treat bacterial infections, but they cannot distinguish between harmful bacteria and many beneficial ones living in your digestive tract. After a course of antibiotics, the microbiome often begins recovering naturally, although the process may take weeks or even months depending on the individual and the medication used. This is why antibiotics should always be taken exactly as prescribed and only when medically necessary. Chronic stress also has a powerful influence on gut health. The digestive system and the brain communicate continuously through a network known as the gut-brain axis. Ongoing psychological stress may alter digestion, influence the composition of gut bacteria, and affect the immune system. Many people notice digestive discomfort during stressful periods, and researchers believe changes in the microbiome may be one reason this happens. Managing stress through regular physical activity, meaningful social connections, relaxation techniques, or adequate rest can support both mental well-being and digestive health. Poor sleep is another overlooked habit that may influence the microbiome. Consistently sleeping too little can disrupt the body's natural rhythms, affect hormone regulation, and contribute to metabolic changes that may also alter gut bacteria. Quality sleep gives your body time to repair tissues, regulate immune activity, and maintain healthy biological processes that benefit the microbiome. Physical inactivity also plays a role. Studies suggest that people who engage in regular exercise often have greater microbial diversity than those who remain sedentary. Movement supports healthy digestion, metabolism, and circulation while contributing to an internal environment where beneficial bacteria can thrive. Even moderate activities such as walking, cycling, swimming, or gardening performed consistently may have positive effects. Excessive alcohol consumption and smoking further place stress on the gut microbiome. These habits can damage the intestinal lining, increase inflammation, and reduce the abundance of beneficial microorganisms over time. Replacing them with healthier lifestyle choices creates conditions that support a stronger digestive system and a more balanced immune response. Perhaps the most important lesson is that your gut microbiome responds to the choices you make every day rather than to occasional moments of perfection. Each meal rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and fermented foods helps nourish beneficial bacteria, while regular exercise, adequate sleep, careful use of medications, and effective stress management work together to protect the remarkable community of microorganisms that quietly supports your health throughout your life. For years, scientists searched for answers to cancer by focusing almost entirely on human cells. Today, a new frontier of research is revealing that another important player may be influencing the story all along: the trillions of microorganisms living inside the human digestive system. This community, known as the gut microbiome, is becoming one of the most exciting areas of medical science. Researchers are discovering that these tiny organisms do far more than help digest food. They communicate with the immune system, influence inflammation, produce beneficial compounds, and may even affect how the body responds to certain cancer treatments. While this research is promising, scientists are careful to emphasize that it does not mean gut bacteria prevent or cure cancer on their own. One of the biggest discoveries involves the relationship between gut bacteria and inflammation. Inflammation is a normal and necessary part of the body's defense system. It helps fight infections and repair damaged tissues. However, when inflammation becomes chronic and persists for months or years, it may contribute to conditions that increase the risk of several diseases, including some types of cancer. Researchers believe that a balanced gut microbiome may help regulate inflammatory responses, preventing the immune system from remaining in a constant state of unnecessary activation. Beneficial bacteria play an important role by fermenting dietary fiber and producing compounds called short-chain fatty acids, including butyrate. These compounds help nourish the cells lining the colon, strengthen the intestinal barrier, and support healthy immune regulation. A stronger intestinal barrier reduces the likelihood that unwanted substances will cross into the bloodstream and trigger excessive immune reactions. Scientists continue studying how these processes may contribute to long-term health and disease prevention. Another exciting area of research involves cancer immunotherapy. Immunotherapy is a treatment designed to help the immune system recognize and attack cancer cells more effectively. Several studies have found that people with a more diverse and balanced gut microbiome sometimes respond better to certain immunotherapy treatments than those with less microbial diversity. Researchers believe beneficial bacteria may help prepare the immune system to respond more effectively, although the exact mechanisms are still being investigated. This field is evolving rapidly. An expert stress that gut health should not be viewed as a replacement for evidence-based medical treatment. Scientists are also studying how diet influences the microbiome, and in turn, how those microbial changes affect inflammation and immune function. is diets rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and fermented foods tend to support greater microbial diversity. Fiber acts as fuel for beneficial bacteria, encouraging the production of health-supporting compounds. On the other hand, is dietary patterns dominated by ultra-processed foods and low in fiber may reduce microbial diversity over time, potentially affecting normal immune regulation. The microbiome is highly individual. No two people have exactly the same collection of microorganisms. Genetics, age, medications, environment, physical activity, stress, sleep, and long-term dietary habits all influence the balance of microbes living in the digestive system. This is one reason why researchers are moving away from one-size-fits-all recommendations and exploring more personalized approaches to nutrition and health. One particularly fascinating area of investigation is fecal microbiota transplantation, often called FMT. This procedure involves transferring beneficial microbes from a healthy donor into the digestive tract of another person. It is already an established treatment for recurrent Clostridioides difficile infections in carefully selected patients. Scientists are now studying whether modifying the microbiome through approaches like FMT could improve responses to certain cancer therapies, but these uses remain experimental and are not standard cancer treatments. Researchers are also exploring probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics to better understand how each may support a healthy microbiome. While some probiotic products may benefit certain individuals, scientists caution that not all supplements have the same evidence behind them, and many questions remain about which strains, doses, and combinations are most effective. The strongest evidence still supports building a healthy microbiome through a consistent, fiber-rich dietary pattern and an overall healthy lifestyle, while continuing to rely on proven medical care for cancer prevention, screening, diagnosis, and treatment. The most powerful changes in your health rarely come from a single superfood, expensive supplement, or overnight detox. They come from the small decisions you repeat every day. Your gut microbiome responds to those decisions with remarkable speed. Every meal, every hour of sleep, every walk you take, and every healthy habit you practice sends signals that influence the trillions of microorganisms living inside your digestive system. The goal is not to achieve perfection, but to create an environment where beneficial bacteria can thrive and support your body's natural functions. A simple nutrition plan begins with making fiber the foundation of every meal. Beneficial gut bacteria depend on fiber because it serves as their primary source of nourishment. Unlike refined carbohydrates, fiber reaches the large intestine where helpful microbes ferment it into beneficial compounds such as short-chain fatty acids. These compounds help maintain the intestinal lining, support healthy immune function, and contribute to normal digestive health. Instead of counting calories, focus first on increasing the variety of plant foods you eat throughout the week. Start your morning with foods that naturally support your microbiome. A bowl of oatmeal topped with berries, sliced banana, walnuts, or ground flaxseed provides a combination of fiber and plant nutrients that beneficial bacteria enjoy. Plain yogurt or kefir with live cultures can also be included if dairy is appropriate for you. Adding fermented foods that may contribute beneficial microorganisms as part of a balanced diet. Lunch is another opportunity to strengthen your gut health. Build meals around colorful vegetables, beans, lentils, chickpeas, or whole grains instead of relying on highly processed foods. A large salad filled with leafy greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, carrots, and beans, paired with brown rice or quinoa, delivers a wide range of fibers and plant compounds that encourage microbial diversity. The more different plant foods you include over time, the more varied your microbiome is likely to become. Dinner should continue the same pattern. Fill at least half your plate with vegetables, include a source of lean protein such as fish, poultry, tofu, or legumes, and choose whole grains instead of refined starches whenever possible. Garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower contain natural compounds that researchers believe help support beneficial gut bacteria while also providing important vitamins and minerals. Healthy snacks can also make a difference. Fresh fruit, raw vegetables, a handful of almonds, walnuts, pistachios, or seeds provide nutrients without replacing healthier meals. Choosing water instead of sugary drinks reduces unnecessary added sugars while helping support overall health. Small, consistent improvements are often more sustainable than dramatic dietary changes that are difficult to maintain. Nutrition is only one part of the picture. Regular physical activity has been associated with greater microbial diversity in many studies. Walking, cycling, swimming, gardening, or any enjoyable movement performed consistently supports digestion, circulation, and metabolic health. Even moderate daily activity can contribute to a healthier internal environment, equally important. During restful sleep, your body carries out repair processes that influence hormone balance, immune function, and overall health. Adults should aim for consistent, high-quality sleep whenever possible, as irregular sleep patterns may affect both the microbiome and metabolism. Managing stress is another essential habit. Chronic stress influences the gut through the gut-brain axis, altering digestion and potentially affecting the balance of microorganisms. Relaxation techniques, deep breathing, spending time outdoors, maintaining social connections, is practicing mindfulness or engaging in enjoyable hobbies can all support healthier stress responses. Finally, remember that there is no single food capable of curing cancer or guaranteeing perfect health. The strongest scientific evidence supports a long-term pattern of eating a wide variety of fiber-rich plant foods, limiting ultra-processed products, staying physically active, getting adequate sleep, avoiding tobacco, limiting alcohol, and following recommended medical advice in cancer screenings. Your gut microbiome reflects the habits you practice day after day, quietly responding to every healthy choice you make while supporting the complex systems that help keep your body functioning at its best.